Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
And welcome to MENTY, BREAKY, Epi 3040. Monica,
Yeah, big news.
are you feeling a little tingling in the air?
Yeah, I am.
A little electricity?
Tingling in the city?
Yes.
Yeah, because...
What could it be?
Oh, I think Taylor Swift is coming. I got tickets to
Amazing.
Taylor Swift. Literally, the hardest process ever was in like 3 group chats of everyone trying to get codes, everyone trying to get tickets. Out of all those, we got like 1 ticket, and then we had to do a random name generator to see who would get the extra ticket or whatever. And I got it.
Crazy.
It was a whole, like, it was emotional.
Well, when I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's a huge, like, winning the lottery, literally.
Seriously.
And you love her. You're
Toronto.
so deserving to go see her.
I've been a fan since grade 9.
You've already seen her, which says a lot.
I've seen her 2 or 3 times. I think 3 times.
Wow, really? I didn't know that many times.
I saw the 1989 tour. I saw the Fearless tour, and I saw the Red tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's all. There's so many people. Like, now it's like so expensive, and it's like so hard to get tickets and everything. But like, if anyone deserves to go, it's someone who's been seeing her since day one.
It is crazy. Like, people are being like, well, I deserve it, but I deserve it. But this person got it. And I'm like,
no.
Look, it's all fair in love and war.
Yeah. Well, I disagree.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like concerts are so expensive now.
Yeah.
And it's because a lot of people are just buying and reselling.
Yeah.
It's a business now.
Yeah.
To sell these.
Sad.
And it's just like the artist isn't seeing this money.
No. Well, my friend got in a fight with an Uber driver because he was saying how he was like scalping tickets and like reselling
An Uber
them.
driver told me that too.
Really?
And he was like proud of himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, fuck you. You're ruining art.
Yeah.
You're literally ruining culture.
Yeah. That's what my friend said to the Uber driver too. She's like, you shouldn't be proud of that.
Yeah.
No, it is bizarre. They have Taylor Swift Way now downtown.
Yes.
I really have to like, I'm the type of person that like I look at, like I do look into the future, but in terms of like schedule, I look at tomorrow, like what am I doing tomorrow, you know? So it's like everyone's like, are you excited for Taylor Swift? And I'm like, yes, but I haven't like thought of that yet. But I do have to like buy an outfit.
I was just gonna say, do you know what you're gonna wear?
No, I think I have to go to Winners and like really
Winners or like Marshalls or something. They'll have something sparkly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the girls I'm going with, they got together to make friendship bracelets.
Oop, where were you?
I was at a show because all of our friends have plans in the evenings and we do comedy. I tried to make it work, but I was like, I'm sorry, I have to whatever. But yeah, so friendship bracelets, and I'm gonna buy an outfit, and like I'm just excited to fucking ball out. Like this is gonna be my Super Bowl, to be honest. I do have to look up the like set list though. I mean, I know it's gonna be changing, and I know whatever, but
and
like,
you did not watch the Eras tour?
No,
yeah,
because I wanted to be like,
fair.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be fucking insane. This chick fucking runs around for 3 hours singing. Are you fucked? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen her before. I know all of like the old.
You know every song.
Yeah.
You're not going to be surprised.
No. Some of the new ones I don't know because she's really popping them out like the past few years.
Yeah, I think she has put quite a few from her last one into the tour now.
Yeah, I have to.
It's almost over, which is also crazy.
The tour, yeah.
It ends in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
That's so random.
I know. It is really random. She also like didn't have Canada on the roster for so long.
And then she's like, okay, I'll just end here.
Yeah, and Trudeau was like, can you please?
I know, that was so lame.
That
He's
was
so
really
cringe.
lame. He's so cringe. Begging her to come. But also thank you, Trudeau.
But thankfully
not that
she
that
came.
I don't think
I
that
doubt that had
changed
any
anything.
effect, and it was all Rogers and Ticketmaster that were like, we'll give you $1 billion. And she's like, okay.
It is funny that world leaders are like, excuse me, please, Taylor.
Yeah.
Because she increases the gross domestic product.
Yeah, I think he just wants people to like him. He's just like desperate to be liked.
Yeah, but she also does increase the GDP.
Sure. It's like she's essentially the World Series.
Yeah, exactly. I know, I'm really excited. I think it's just going to be such an experience. I have a friend who went in the States and she cried when it was done.
Aww.
She was she's like, I don't want it to end.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be insane.
My coworker sold a ticket for $4,000.
Yeah.
Is that insane?
Yeah, well, someone said they paid off their their college loans, their student loans.
Crazy. Paying $4,000, but also like fuck again. It's just like this whole like system.
I know.
It makes me so angry.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people who got codes are not like super fans.
That's what I mean. Like this girl, she's like, yeah, I like Taylor Swift, but in the end, she's like, not like first she sold her a one for a much lower price, maybe $1,000, and then she's like, yeah, and then I just decided I was gonna go to like on vacation instead and not see Taylor, and I sold the ticket, and that ticket paid for my vacation. So I'm like, well, this is just like a business move for you.
Yeah.
Like there's a Taylor fan out there that doesn't get to see her.
I know.
So that it's like as much as it's like, oh yeah, get your bank. It's like, well,
it sucks.
We're killing art.
Yeah.
In the process.
It's morally incorrect. What would you do? Would you sell the ticket for $4,000 or $300 like face value, like not make any money if you had a Taylor ticket?
I wouldn't sell it.
I
would go.
But what if you couldn't go?
If I couldn't go, of course I would sell it for $4,000 then.
Yeah.
But I just that. Yeah, I guess I would sell it for $4,000 and be like, well, whatever.
That's
if I can't go. But the world I live in, I'm only buying a ticket to something I want to see.
Yes.
And I'm paying the artist for creating art.
Yes.
That's my perfect world.
Yeah. That would be my perfect world as well. But if I had to sell, I would.
Yeah, sure. Then I'm like, well, this is the world we live in.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it also like if there was like a businessman or something that was like buying these Taylor Swift tickets and he was already a billionaire and then he was selling them for like $10,000. Like I'd be like, you should sell them for like face value or you should not buy them in the first place.
Yeah. Like why are you like, it's these scam artists, these resell artists. I'm like, don't do this.
But yes, I am very excited for the Taylor Swift concert and I literally can't wait.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, when I'm on a tour across Canada and when we planned it, like a comedy tour, when we planned it like last April, I was like, I'm free every day except November 22nd. So. And
that will
plan accordingly.
Yes. And then I got that date and the show got canceled.
Yes, on the comedy show. Hannah, the only appropriate person. The
only date that I was on.
Yeah.
And they're like, just kidding, it's off.
Yeah.
Do we know where she's staying at?
Taylor?
Yeah.
No. I'm sure she's like
I heard, but then I'm like, I feel like it was a lie maybe that her people put out or something like that.
Probably. I'm sure she would not disclose.
Yeah. Oh, but then also my coworkers were like, she's not staying here. I was like, right. Yeah. She has a jet and lives in New York.
Yeah, that's
She'll
true.
just go home.
That is true. Yeah. She's not. Yeah.
Yeah, she can just be there in an hour.
It's going to be insane. She once, I saw this interview she did where she's like, I struggle with like kind of being like larger than life. Like I don't really feel like a person anymore. And then she was like made a joke about how like that's like not a struggle, right? Like she's like, well, like fuck me, you know, like don't feel bad for me. But like honestly, she kind of is like not a person at this point. Like she is larger than life. Like she's about to increase the GDP of our entire nation.
Yeah, it is odd when like an artist becomes like that big.
Yeah.
That it's like.
Yeah. I mean, look, Justin Bieber, huge. But like, was he ever on a tour like this where like he was literally just like increasing GDPs like across like the world? Like, it's
no,
crazy.
I feel like it's basically like her and Beyonce.
I think it's she's like, bigger than Beyonce.
Well, but both of them are similar in that they've made their billions just from music. That's what people are saying. Whereas like someone like Rihanna, it's like her or Selena, it's like makeup brands. But her and Beyonce are both billionaires from their tours and music.
Interesting.
So and Beyonce tickets, they weren't as you're right, they weren't as big as Taylor.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't increase GDP all that much, but it is still just like she's like Beyonce.
She
like
is
it's like it's like this like icon now.
Like not really a person.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also don't really see Beyonce like speaking or out in the world a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Similar to Taylor.
Yeah.
Where it's just like when they do make an appearance, someone's like, what was that?
Yeah.
And be like discussing it.
Yeah, like the football games.
Yeah.
And, like, her, like, if she dances, they're like,
yeah, that's because like
Taylor
when Beyonce or
dances.
Jay-Z like go to a party, everyone's like, oh, they went to this party.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
You're like, yeah, they're people.
Yeah, yeah. Or if Taylor starts going to a restaurant, everyone's like, we must go to this restaurant now.
Oh, yeah. That was us in New York where, like,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift once entered this bar.
Yeah.
As such, we have to go.
We will have a drink here.
Okay, so moving on to our fuck, marry, kill of the week.
Speaking of drinks.
Oh, nice transition. Okay, so we had a fuck, marry, kill, which is funny because Hannah wrote this, and then we had a request from a listener, Harkerat, that had one very similar. So we'll do Hannah's first, and then we'll go into Harkerat's.
My fuck, marry, kill was tequila, vodka, gin.
Okay. I'd marry gin.
That's wild.
Is it?
Right off the
I'm not a
bat,
big drinker.
Monica coming in from
I feel like
left
gin.
field.
I feel like gin is my easiest
That's crazy.
to take.
What do you do with gin?
Gin and tonic.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
It's easy for
Yeah,
me.
classic.
Like
You
I know,
never do a vodka tonic?
well, like vodka soda, I guess.
Or vodka soda, I should say.
Yeah, but I couldn't marry vodka. Like, I've just had so many bad experiences with vodka in university that, like, although I can now once again drink vodka, I'm kind of scarred for life from it.
Right.
It's kind of like the, like, shitty fuckboy that you're like, I can't anymore.
Interesting.
And then I'd fuck tequila.
Yeah.
I can take a tequila shot.
Yeah.
And I've had some fun times on tequila.
Yeah, that's tequila's whole thing.
That's tequila's whole thing.
Is like, I'm so fuckable.
Yeah.
And you're okay. I do tequila.
But I could never
guess.
marry tequila.
No.
Like you take some tequila shots one night and you're like, I need a break.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like tequila's a bit overhyped.
Okay.
Because people are all like, if you do shots, everyone's always like tequila, and I'm like, I guess
What's your shot of choice?
tequila.
I can't do vodka shots anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't do vodka shots anymore. But I think I would marry vodka, kill gin, and fuck tequila.
That's fair.
Because vodka, you can do espresso martini. Did you think about that, Monica?
I did think about that, but like I don't. I get sad about espresso martinis because they look so tasty. I don't think they're tasty because I taste the vodka.
Whoa! I taste no vodka. Remember
Really?
the drinks we got in New York? And you're like, this is so strong. And I was
Yeah.
like, this ain't strong enough.
Yeah.
What was that? The pumpkin spice.
Oh, yeah. We went to the Starbucks in New York that sells.
What is it called? The Reserve. We went
the
to Starbucks
Starbucks
Reserve in
Reserve.
New York.
So white. And then
I know. Oh, right. I had a joke about that. I
Yeah.
said that I'm like, as a white girl, you like go to New York and you just end up at the Starbucks Reserve.
Yeah, it's like the mecca of Starbucks.
Yeah.
It has like 3 floors. It has the
Yeah.
beans roasting. And
Yeah.
they had like the pumpkin spice martinis or whatever.
Pumpkin
it
spice
was.
martini. Yes, that's what it was.
and I
They
took-
were very good, but you hated it.
I hated it. I took one sip and I'm like, all I taste is alcohol. And then I had to leave for a show. And then
Yeah.
Hannah just drank the
I was
two
like,
by
well, I guess I'll have
herself.
2. And then I was a little bit drunk after. And I was like, okay, I guess there was a good amount of alcohol in here. Do you remember how much they were?
Yeah, they were like $25.
I think it was more. I think it was 25 American dollars. I think we basically paid 40 Canadian dollars for a fucking martini.
I remember that.
Yeah, because that's what the joke was. I was like,
Yeah.
I am a dumb bitch.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
paid $40 for a pumpkin spice martini.
We were too deep into it though. Like we
Yeah,
had waited
and-
in line.
yeah, we're
we
like, we
wanted
have-
the experience. We took the pic. Like it was too much.
We took the pics, yeah.
Oh god.
And everyone that walked by was like, ooh, what is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So I would definitely marry vodka. Martinis in general.
That's true. My thing
Can't
is
get
just
better
like
than that.
I hate the taste of all alcohols, so I just try to go.
I know.
where
I
the
was like,
going's
Monica's going to be
easy.
annoyed with this one.
Like I don't know. I can shoot tequila. I can like have fun, and then I think I used to have another gin drink that I really liked. I don't know. It was in Unless it was vodka. I honestly like don't even know what I do with my life alcohol wise. But I do like a vodka
That's true
soda.
because when you order drinks, you're like, "What's the sweetest possible drink you have?"
Yeah.
And does it taste like strawberries?
And
they're
take out
like,
the
"I
alcohol.
guess." Yeah, and then and you're like, "And how can it be more like juice?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay."
They're like, "Do you just like not want alcohol?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, perfect."
Yeah, thank you. I'll pay $40 for this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went on a date and it was like right after COVID or something, and I fucked up my alcohol order. I was like, "Could I get a gin and vodka?" Or I said something like actually mentally ill, and the guy was like I could tell that was like you know when you get the ick and you're never gonna see the person again. I could tell that was the moment, and the waiter was like, "I'm sorry, like what?" And I was like, "Gin and vodka." He's like, and I'm like, "Oh," I was like, literally, I was so embarrassed and I was so flustered because like I don't like drink a lot. So I was like, I literally was like, just bring me whatever. Like, I actually don't give a fuck.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't think I said that, but I was like, I promise you this doesn't matter to me.
Oh my
like,
God.
Please just leave.
You're like, I'm going to hate no matter what
I'm
you
going to hate
me.
no matter what. I don't know how to order alcohol. I don't care. Just bring me like gin. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and then Harkerat's was beer, wine, and seltzer.
Yeah.
I would marry seltzer. I would fuck. I don't know. I hate beer and wine. I don't drink either one.
You have to answer.
I would kill. I guess I would kill beer and I would fuck wine because beer has like calories. So it's like if I'm gonna drink something that like I don't like, I may as well drink something that's has a little calories.
Have you like ever had a glass of wine?
No. Like I've sipped and I'm like I don't like this.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I'm like a really horrendous like hang in certain situations.
Yeah.
Because
like when it's like people are like having fun.
Yeah, when people are having fun, I'm just not. It's not for me.
Just kidding.
No, but it's like when people are like, there's people who are really aggressive about it. Like if you're at a cottage or if you're somewhere and they're like, we're all drinking wine. And it's like usually the people who, if you don't drink wine, they get mad.
Yeah, because they have a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think if I've been that person, but I'm usually, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I like care if people don't drink.
Yeah.
I think I care. You know when I care is if I know people drink and then they're like, I'm just not going to drink tonight. And then I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
like we were supposed to drink tonight.
Yeah.
But like if someone is just like, no, I just like don't drink. I'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I also just like do not give a shit about peer pressure in the slightest. Like,
yeah,
and I'm like, I actually don't care. Like, I'm going home.
Right.
But yeah, there's certain situations where people are like, but I'll drink like a can of fucking something. But
like
I don't
a White Claw.
Yeah, I'll drink a White Claw.
Do you like a cider?
Yeah, I like a cider.
Okay, so seltzer, cider.
Yeah.
Something.
I would marry that. Yeah. But it's like also at the same time, it's like if I'm forced.
Yeah.
Like there's never a situation where I'm sitting somewhere and I think to myself, I would love a cider right now.
Because you just like don't like to be drunk. Is that it?
It hurts my stomach. I feel sick. And it's like, if I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to get white girl fucking wasted. I'm not doing half-ass business here. I get wasted once a quarter, and that's good for me.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a big night, I'll do it. But, like, if I'm at a comedy show and, like, I did my set and everyone's like, I'm going to drink, I'm like, for what?
Yeah. To stop the thoughts.
Right. See, my thing is alcohol, like, I think more. Honestly.
Ew, interesting.
Like I don't relax.
See, I feel that way about like weed.
Okay.
Like I kind of stopped doing weed because I'm like, why? So I can be paranoid.
Right.
What's the point? Like people are like, it relaxes me. I'm like, no. I can have fun on weed.
Yeah.
But I'm never relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm either having a great time or I'm like, yeah, I need to go lie under my covers. Like I'm never just like, I'm chill.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'll like sometimes have fun with alcohol, but sometimes I'm like not. Like,
right.
I'm thinking more though, even if I'm having fun.
Wow. Interesting. I feel the complete opposite. I feel like it solves everything, turns all the bad thoughts off. Fucking love it. I envy you for just being able to
yeah,
not.
it's a weird, I don't know.
But I would marry the shit out of wine.
Yeah.
I love wine.
Yeah.
I didn't used to. I think like anyone, I started drinking sweet ones at first, and but now I'm just like, the drier and more hideous, the better.
Yeah.
An expensive dry wine, I could drink that. And then I would fuck a seltzer, of course, kill beer.
Yeah.
I learned to drink it in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Because everyone drinks beer there.
Well, that's the thing is like you have to learn to drink all that stuff.
All
and
of
I'm
it.
Like, well, then why learn?
Yeah, I think because it's like there's this, it's like to be like posh and like, or whatever, like that would be wine or champagne or a martini, or to be like sophisticated.
Yeah.
Right? Or to party or have fun. Like it's just the thing that society's come up with.
That like you should learn this.
But like, yeah, you were just like, or I could just not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, I didn't realize that was an option.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people like, do that, and then you get like addicted, and then like it's on good. But I get it, like the peer pressure and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm peer pressure too. I think just in different ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
I made you eat like a cricket once or something.
Yeah, you made me lick a
grasshopper.
It was a cricket.
No, it was a grasshopper.
You made me eat it.
There's no way you ate it.
I think
you did not eat a whole grasshopper.
Yeah, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, we put it in the guacamole. And then we put it on the chip. There's no way you just made me lick it. I wouldn't lick it.
No, you're right. You ate a grasshopper.
Yeah.
But you were so upset about it.
I was upset.
They served cooked grasshopper in Mexico. And I was like, it's on these menus. Let's fucking eat some grasshopper.
I did it because you're my best friend.
Thank you for eating the grasshopper.
Yeah, and you told me you brought me all the way to Mexico.
I know. I'm like, you're going to eat a grasshopper.
So I did
But you don't feel any like pride in being like, I ate a grasshopper.
No.
That's so weird. I would, if it was like a big thing.
That's not a big thing to me.
Yeah, but you get to be like, I ate a grasshopper. Like I did something that I didn't want to do.
Don't feel that. Literally don't feel that in the slightest.
So interesting.
I feel happy that it made you happy.
That's good. I'm trying to think what I've done recently. I did something recently that I didn't want to do. And I was like, I did the cold plunge. And I was like, I just have to fucking do this. And I was in there longer than the men.
Right.
And it made me feel really good. Even though, like, at the end of the day, I'm just sitting in cold water. You're just eating a grasshopper.
Right.
There's nothing, like...
Well, no, I think the cold plunge, though, there's, like, physical benefits to it. And
yeah, but, like, I'm not talking about that. Oh, sure. There's physical benefits to sitting in cold water. Or there's not. Like, or it's all made up, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure if I could tell you there's physical benefits to eating a grasshopper. Like, or it's bullshit, right?
I guess so.
So part of it is just, I think... a lot of it, of the physical benefits of sitting in cold water is you overcame something.
I guess so.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there was no mental thing for you and being like, hey, I ate a grasshopper. Good for me. Like, I did something I thought I didn't want to, or I couldn't do, and I did it.
I knew I could. I just didn't want to.
I guess. But I also felt that with the cold water.
Right.
I'm like, I know I can.
Right.
I don't want to.
Right.
But then I made myself do it, and I was like, good for you, Hannah. You did something difficult.
Yeah. It just depends on the situation. Like, it reminds me of spin class where, like, he's telling us, like, push yourself and get to this RPM. And I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah. I guess we're very different this way.
Yeah.
Because I'm also, like, when I'll walk for hours and you're like, how do you do that? I'm like, because I just make myself do it. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, but you could also not.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah.
Now it just sounds like I'm lazy.
No, but you can do, that's what I'm, like, kind of trying to get at is it's like, even if you force yourself to do something, you don't get any dopamine out of it, which is odd to me because I force myself to do something and I'm like, yes, accomplishment.
Well, it depends what I'm forcing myself to do. Like, there's stuff I'm forcing myself to do that I think goes towards a goal or goes towards, like, bettering myself. And then I'm like, yes, an accomplishment. But if I'm just, like, forcing myself to do random fucking shit to be like, I could do random fucking shit, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I could see how the cold plunge, beating the men and, like, doing something hard for that period of time I would also feel accomplished. Mm-hmm. I'm actually doing that show.
Nice.
It's a show. What's the place called? Othership, yeah.
Amazing. Do you know who's on your lineup?
No.
Oh, it's so fun. You're going to have so much fun.
Don't love the concept of doing a show in a bathing suit, though. But I guess it's fine.
I just wore one piece.
Yeah, I'm going to wear one piece.
Are you going to do the cold plunge?
Yeah, I'm there. May as well fuck around and find out.
Yeah, do the cold plunge.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but then I was like, you got to.
Yeah. I've done cold plunges though. Like
I've never done one before.
I really enjoy it. I don't stay for a long time in the cold. I'll probably try to push myself, but like I love a cold plunge.
How long have you stayed?
I don't know, like 30 seconds.
Minute 30.
Yay, Hannah.
Thank you. But don't worry, you ate a grasshopper, so.
Yeah, I did eat a grasshopper against.
That counts for a minute.
Yeah. We're tired.
You can either do a minute in the cold plunge or you can eat a grasshopper, ladies.
Okay, so I think now we can talk about our Menty Breaky queen this week.
Yeah.
This is our friend.
I think I can say her name, Tia.
Yeah.
If not, I won't. But she was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Shout out Tia.
Shout out Tia, comic in Toronto.
Love her.
She also is definitely a Menty Breaky queen.
Oh, yeah.
Because she just identifies with all of our stories. Because I was like, actually, why haven't you submitted a story yet? She was like, oh, okay, I'll just tell you this one.
Yeah, submit your stories before we have to call you out for
individually.
Your stories. Yeah.
So she was dating a chef, and she was on beginning of the relationship, she found girl's underwear in a drawer.
Okay.
And he was like, those are my exes. They were just here from before.
Is that the beginning of this story?
This is just part of it.
Okay.
This is just to give you an idea of this man and Tia's mental state.
Right.
And she's like, she found a girl's underwear and they were like in a drawer or something. He's like, oh, those are just my exes and they were just there. And she's like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, and she's like, and I believed him. And later she said I was like, well, was he cheating or not? She's like, I don't know. But later I found hundreds of letters that they had written each other that he was holding on to.
Were they dated?
And the timelines were like very close, apparently. Like a little bit of overlap between these letters and when Tia had started dating this man.
Okay.
So she went to Guatemala with girls on a girls' trip. Okay. And her chef boyfriend was in Mexico and was just like, hey, I'm in Mexico, come here.
Wait, hold on, I'm confused.
They were just dating at the time.
They were casually dating.
No, they were like a couple.
They were a couple and they just happened to go to Mexico at the same time on different trips.
She went to Guatemala with her friends. Guatemala is not in Mexico.
Oh, okay. Just cut that out.
Guatemala is a different country.
It says on the note she went to Mexico. Okay, hold on.
Yes, I'll get to it.
Guatemala is Central America.
Yeah, so is Mexico.
Okay, so hold on. So she went to Guatemala with her friends.
Yes.
And he went to Mexico. Why did he go to Mexico?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just because he needed to go to Mexico for some reason.
Okay, and they were dating.
Yeah.
So he said, come to Mexico.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm in Mexico, so just come here. But she was on a girls' trip.
Right.
And then she went to Mexico.
She left the girls' trip.
She was a week into this girls' trip or something. It was like a 2-week girls' trip that they were all going on together. And she left the girls' trip to go to Mexico. Did they not plan this?
Did they not know in advance that he'd be in Mexico and she'd be in Guatemala in the timelines?
I guess not. That maybe, I don't know why.
Okay, Tia, we're going to have to clarify for the next episode. But anyways.
But why does that matter?
Because if they knew before they had left.
Or maybe they did know and they didn't plan to meet up. But then once he was in Mexico, he was just like, come here. Wow. I'm in Mexico.
Okay.
So she did.
She left the girls' trip.
She left the girls' trip and she told the girls' trip, I have a family emergency in Mexico.
Oh, no, Tia. Oh, no. What kind of family emergency would you have in Mexico? You're like the whitest girl we know.
That's what I said.
Jesus Christ, like, Tia.
Why would anyone believe that you had a fish? She's like, I don't know. I was like, that's insane.
That is insane. Yeah, because she didn't want to tell them that she was leaving the girls' trip for her boyfriend.
Yeah, so she said, I have a family emergency in Mexico.
Okay.
Just went to Mexico, and then I guess he was like, because he's South American, so maybe he was living there or temporarily going to live there or something, and then she just didn't leave.
So, okay, he probably wasn't living there because they were in a relationship in Toronto.
No, but I mean temporarily, because she said she just didn't leave. Like, they both just stayed there for months in Mexico. And then all of the girls that she was on the girls trip with, she worked with. And eventually they all just like found out that she was now just like living in Mexico with her boyfriend. And she's like, yeah, so I just had to like quit that job and never speak to any of them again. Like, she was just in Mexico, never spoke to those girls again. Because all of them were like, eventually they found out from like other coworkers. They're like, oh, they're living together in Mexico.
Find out that you just like
are not, there's no family emergency in Mexico. So yeah, so then she was just in Mexico living with this guy, never spoke to any of those girls again, lost that job. And eventually I was like, did you guys come back to Toronto or whatever? Like, they hadn't lived in Toronto yet. I think they were in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
The ending was she goes, I want to move to Toronto. He said, great, I'll move with you. So she started looking for places in Toronto. And then eventually she's like, you're not going to move to Toronto with me, are you? And he was like, no. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to move on my own. And she did.
And is he still in Mexico?
He's in Texas now.
In Texas?
Yeah, she's like, so that was the other thing. She was like, I could have moved to Texas with him, but she chose to move to Toronto and like live in Toronto.
How could she have moved to Texas? She's not an American citizen.
Because you can marry or be on a partner visa.
Is he American?
No, but he got a visa to work there. He's a chef, so for whatever reason, he was able to work there.
Wow.
Yeah, so then she's like, I could have moved there. And I was like, where in Texas? She's like, Dallas. I was like, Tia, you can't move to Dallas. She's like, I know. That's why I came to Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know.
So was he cheating on her?
She thinks so.
Yeah. Maybe not in Mexico.
No. I think by the time they were in Mexico, it was just them two, but who knows?
Yeah, and then there was letter overlap.
Yeah, she said the letter overlap and the underwear and stuff was at the beginning of the relationship.
Right.
And then...
Yeah.
Then we had Mexico.
And she lost all her friends and her job and was just living in Mexico.
Just to go to Mexico with a guy.
Honestly, sounds kind of fun.
I can't be like, oh my God, that's horrible.
I know.
Again, I'd be like, yeah,
same.
I can see myself leaving a girl's trip.
Yeah.
To live in Mexico with a man.
For months.
Yes.
That sounds like a good time, but then, yeah, eventually you get to a point where you're like, okay, it's time to, like, live life.
Yeah.
And then, that guy's obviously not going to work in your real life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. At a certain point, you're not a Mexican citizen and you have to leave.
Like, you have to, like, I don't know, get a job or something.
I know. I'm proud of her for, like, being like, well, I'm going to move to Toronto and moving there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, be able to leave a girl's trip and be like, I have a family emergency in Mexico.
That's crazy.
And then them just like finding out.
Well, like, yeah, a family emergency in Mexico. Tia's from Vancouver and is white.
What? I would be like, what's the emergency?
Yeah. I'd be like, please send receipts of the emergency.
Yeah. What happened?
Who loses a job in a whole friend group to just like fuck off in Mexico?
My family, they got stranded on a beach.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tia, for writing in.
Yes, thank you.
And
thank you, Queen.
I guess. Oh, we didn't talk about this. I cried in my spin class.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannah cried for her birthday. We talked about that last week, and I cried in my spin class. Well, what happened was, so Hannah and I went to the spin class. I like spin, but as we talked about earlier, I do my own fucking thing. You know, like.
Yeah.
And I realized he talks a lot. He's always
so does I went to another girl's.
Yeah.
And she was yapping away the whole time.
I'm like, can you guys be quiet? I'm trying, and he'll lower the music.
I'm trying to do my own thing. I'm trying to not. I know, because their whole thing is like, in this class, we ride to the beat. And but she was even more strict than he was. Like, she was calling out what your number should be and what your beats per minute or whatever should be.
Right.
But then, like, one time she even, like, corrected a girl. Because you know how you're supposed to be, like, you're literally supposed to be mirroring them.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And so when they call out, like, the foot that you're supposed to start on, and the whole class is supposed to be in symmetry, right, and you're all supposed to be riding to the beat. And it is true. Like, if you're, like, she'll call out the two numbers, and if you're correct, you will have those two numbers.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on beat with the music, with her, started on the right foot, you'll have those two numbers. But a girl, like, didn't, and she's like, just stop and start over. Like, this was like during the ride. I was like, oh my God.
I'd leave.
Well, you're not allowed re-entry, Monica. So
Yeah.
I hope you're okay with not coming back in.
I wouldn't come back in. Are you kidding me? I do my own thing. Hannah and I went to a cycle class, and I was just like in my own world.
Completely, like, he would call it the 2 numbers, and Monica would be like, thanks for the suggestion, but, like, I'm going to do it. Like, sometimes the song would be so slow, and Monica would be like, going so fast, like, not on beat. I'd be like, good for you, Monica. Or you would have like a really fast song and you would just have it like so low. You just like set your mic so low, and I was like, nice.
There was one time I was off in my own world. I was not even in the cycling class, and that was when you turned to me. You're like, Monica, you're not even close to doing.
Oh, because he literally was like, on this one, we're not gonna bounce. We're all gonna hold position and just cycle. And Monica was like, literally bouncing. And I turned, I was like, Monica.
And I was like, what?
Because he was like looking at us being like, are you fucked? Monica was literally like off the bike.
There. I wasn't
bouncing,
in the spin
and
class.
everyone else is like hunched over holding position. I was like, Monica, stop bouncing.
Hannah's like, hover. I'm like,
I know.
What?
She's like, what?
And then I look around and I'm like, oh, no one's moving.
And he's just like looking at us like, what are you doing?
Honestly, I didn't even know what the numbers were that he was calling out for like the first half of our first class.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah.
He'd be like, RPM 93. And I'd be like, okay.
Like, that seems like a you issue. You're like, I don't really know why you're telling me this.
No, but then, so I was in the class.
I didn't know either, but I figured it out faster than you. I was like, oh, it's that number. He wants us.
Yeah. And I was and he'll turn down the music to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nothing you have to say is more important than Fergie. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
I don't care about the RPM. I'll try to get on the beat by myself.
You'll try, yeah.
So anyways, there was literally a point where he goes, okay, for this next song, you guys can do your own thing. Mm-hmm. I want you to enjoy yourselves. Just like close your eyes if you want. I'm not going to talk. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm not going to talk. Just feel the music. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then he starts playing Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie.
And
I cried.
Yeah. No. Well, looks like I'm not a big girl.
It was it's an emotional song. Yeah. And my eyes were closed. I was cycling away. Wow. I had never gone faster. I was turning up my resistance. Mm-hmm. I started tearing up.
Wow.
And then he starts talking. And I'm like, I'm in a moment. And you told me that I could have this moment. Mm-hmm. You told me you wouldn't talk. So why are you talking over Fergie and then not? And he's like, still just like do your own thing. I'm like, I was doing my own thing. I was crying.
Yeah, I've cried in a yoga class recently.
Yeah, Shavasana, go off.
Well, it was she was a talker too.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, and she told us 3 times that she had lived in India. By the 3rd time, I was like, girl, we get it.
Yeah, like we get it. You lived in India. Yeah. We didn't care the first time. Yeah. We don't care again.
We're just like trying to do a downward dog right now.
I would love a yoga class or like a spin class or any class where it's like minimal speech.
I don't mind it because honestly, sometimes I just find it fascinating. Like the things they say. Yeah. Like, cause she was like on crack, the one I went to without you. And she was like, who? Cause it was like pop versus rap. And she's like, who's here for rap? And like people cheer. And she's like, who's here for pop? And other people cheered. And she's like, and who's here for both? And I was honestly just like enjoying her. Because I was like, can you imagine? But just like literally everything she said, like she was the one that was like, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. And I was just like, honestly, I was like, this girl is unhinged.
Yeah. My favorite is when they're like, who's having a good day? And it's like a Tuesday at 7 p.m. and everyone's exhausted. And
like, we're here.
Yeah. I've literally been in some classes where people are like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm honestly just like, no one is ever like, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they're just like too, they talk too much and they're just like way too into it.
They're trying to be like the Peloton famous influencer instructors.
I don't know like the Peloton
Cody.
World.
Yeah.
Do you have a Peloton? How do you know these people?
Because Cody was like famous.
Oh, okay.
And like it made it to social media that everyone was obsessed with this Peloton instructor named Cody.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not Cody.
Yeah.
And like, I just want you to shut up, and I want to listen to Big Girls Don't Cry, and I want to cry while I spin.
Yeah. Your perfect workout class is you cycle for a bit, and then the rest of the class you sit on the bike and cry.
Yeah. Yeah. I can still cycle and cry at the same time.
And my perfect class is she just screams at everyone but me.
Yeah. And she's like, you're doing great. What do you think you're doing?
I'm like, oh my God, did you start with the left foot? Idiot. I'm to the girl next to me, I'm like, can you believe she started left?
Can you believe it? Or like,
real dumbass.
And I'm just like, what? Yeah. I'm just in the class being yelled at. Oh, yeah. That's so funny. All right. Well, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say? I'm getting kind of hungry, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been a journey, everyone. We really hope you like our decor.
Yes.
And yeah, big things coming for Menty Breaky. We love you guys.
Big things coming.
Perhaps another plant. Who knows?
Can you imagine if that was the big thing coming? Another.
We raise that. Next week, that's going to be elevated.
Don't freak out. But we might raise this plant an inch.
We might. We don't know yet. Comment if you think the plant should be raised an inch.
Real fans will comment on the plant situation.
Real fans, no. Okay, have a great day, everyone. We love you so much. Goodbye.
Peace out.